offerings. You've got me now for the next 100 or 2 hours, and let's look at that Germany lineup system ball before we carry on. Neuer in goal, then it's Plattenhardt, Hummels, Altenhardt at left back, Khedira in the two holder, one of the two holders, Draxler on the left wing, Cruz the second holder, then Timo Werner and then big number 9 up front, Mesut Ozil in behind, Thomas Muller on the right hand side, Jerome Boateng the second centre back, and Joshua Kimmich the right back. Joachim Low of course is their coach, and they're going to play 5 in the midfield, and one or two notable names there. Marco Reus, of course, who's a veteran of a couple of World Cups, he's in amongst the substitutes today. Now you might not, there's one or two familiar names in the Mexican lineup which we'll bring to you in a second, but Mesut Ozil is the man to watch, of course. Hasn't had a particularly good season on or off for Arsenal, but he's certainly got the capabilities on his day to be a world beater. The two captains there's the referee, all the officials come from Iran. Fagani, the referee, Alifaza Fagani, and the fourth official comes from the United Arab Emirates, and I'm not going to even try and pronounce his name. The VAR team led by Marciano Irati from Italy, with a Brazilian, a Chilean and an American as backup. So let's take a check on that Mexican side, shall we? Starting with Oxshare in goal, then it's Ayala, it's one of the two centre backs. Salcedo is the right back, Leon is the right wing player, Carlos Bellion will play in behind the front man, which is Javier Hernandez, number 14. Hector Moreno is the second centre back, then Hector Herrera is one of the holders. We've got Guardiola, the captain. Lozano is up on the left hand side, and Gallardo is the left back. And again they're going to match Germany in formation 4-5-1. Raul Jimenez is one amongst the substitutes, and Rafael Marquez as well, the big centre back, number 5. He's also in the side as well. So we're all set for a huge match here. Our first match of 2 on the JB Claret YouTube channel. 9 goals, 9 assists for Joshua Kimmich in 10 World Cup qualifiers. This in the build up to this. So later to come through Chris Whiteman's commentary. He's got a big one today. He's got another big one. Ivan Alzano is the top scorer in qualifying for Mexico in the South American stages. It's going to be Mexico in green shirts, white shorts and red stockings to get us underway, and they're going to attack the goal to our left. Germany, of course, in white shirts, attack the goal to our right, dark shorts and white socks. And the current World Cup champions, who won it in Brazil 4 years ago, on the way. They beat Brazil 7-1 in Belo Horizonte, a game which will be very fondly remembered, certainly with Germany hitting Brazil for 7 and then making hard work of Argentina in the final. And the game incidentally being played here in the capital in Moscow, as Okia gets it away from Mexico. First chance we've had to see them here. Of course, we've always covered Germany before on the JB Clark YouTube channel. We saw them in action in Euro 2016 when they reached the semi-finals before France put them to the sword, or Antoine Griezmann put them to the sword with some uncharacteristic defending. I remember in the semi-final in Lyon. Let's just hope that. Let's just hope we get a good game this afternoon, as Vela now runs forward. And look at the chance here now for Lozano. Lozano in the area, and almost a superb start for Mexico. And Boateng got back in the nick of time there, because Lozano had cut in from the left-hand side. It was a good ball forward, round the corner. And look at this for skill. Flex stayed down, past one man, past another, and Boateng got back there and denied him right at the very last. Otherwise it would have been a sensational start for Mexico, and it's going to be Leon with the corner into the penalty area, and the Germans were all over the place, and in the end the ball ricocheted inside the 6-yard box. It was almost pinball machine stuff in there, and in the end the goalkeeper Manuel Neuer of Bayern Munich almost said, "Thank you very much, I'll have this little loose ball and I'll take it and release some pressure for my team." Germany on the back foot, and they've had a little scary in the first couple of minutes here in Moscow. Wow. It's some start this, isn't it? How could we have? We couldn't afford to have a better start. Really, in terms of the start here. And there's a chance for Germany inside the penalty area. It was Werner with the shot. And it was a really good opportunity there. It was a good bit of play there, and across the face of the goals it went. Werner's shot away. Goalkeeper just about had it covered. I just got put off there for a second or two. But, well, the Germans there all over the place at the back there, as you can see. And there was a little flick, and it came off a German player last, but it wasn't what we would call a pass back anyway. But already a rip-roaring start to the game, and it's not 4 minutes old. Here's Werner now on the right-hand side. Werner back inside again to Kimmich. Kimmich having to knock it back to Boateng, who made a superb challenge in the opening exchanges of the game. Well, almost paying the penalty. Joachim Löw, a veteran now for third World Cup. He was also assistant to Jurgen Klinsmann, of course, back in 2006 when they got to the semi-finals, before being beaten by 2 late extra time goals from Grosso and from Del Piero for Italy. And Italy went on to win the final in Berlin. The game best remember for a certain incident between Materazzi and a certain Zinedine Zidane on his final ever played appearance. Zidane butted Materazzi and got himself sent off. This is Werner on the near side, and he's won a throw level with the edge of the Mexican penalty area. He's been scoring goals aplenty in the Bundesliga for Red Bull Leipzig. Has earned his chance now, but he's got a big role to fill because Miroslav Klose, of course, is no longer playing now. He retired. It's been long since retired from the last World Cup, so this will be a big mantle for him to fill, big shoes to fill. But he's proved so far with Red Bull Leipzig that he's capable, and he's been scoring goals for fun. Thomas Werner, ball out towards the far side where Plattenhardt is there. Plattenhardt clearing it back. Plattenhardt again, far side, and Germany now starts after a little bit of worry now, starting to get their passing game going as Khedira plays that ball into the penalty area, and then Werner was he taken out there? No, he wasn't, said the referee. And well, Hernandez winning the throw. Oh, dear me, slipped over there. There's the Mexican coach, Juan Carlos Orizaro. Pressure always on these coaches at these major tournaments. I'm sure Gareth Southgate, in just over 24 hours time, will have those same pressures heaped on by our nation. Of course, England, of course, need I remind you, take on Tunisia. Well, also in the second match that we're bringing you later on, because I am presenting the second game with Chris doing the commentary. We'll bring you the very latest of what's been happening in the England camp on the eve of a big game for them tomorrow against Tunisia, and you'll be able to hear that in full on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Here's come the Germans with 6 minutes gone. Ball over towards the far side, but I think Muller was offside, was he? No, says the referee. No, well, he did look suspiciously offside there, Tommy Muller. I've got to say that indeed. But the corner's taken short. The Germans wanting to get on with it very, very quickly. Of course, many big names in their side as they try to play it into the penalty area. And then the shot comes in from Mats Hummels, in fact, the big centre-back. Struck it with his left foot on the edge of the D, and in the end hit it down Okiar's throat, but yeah, just hit it just inside the penalty area, just inside the box there on the edge of the D. Struck it very, very well. Yeah, but the goalkeeper was perfectly positioned to take the shot into his chest. No problem at all. And here he is now with the kick, right-footed, 3/4 of the way down the field. As I said, this is the first of 2 live games, and then we'll have another free bomb tomorrow. We'll introduce Russ Burnley into our commentary team for the very first time, as he will hopefully commentate on our first match that we have for you tomorrow afternoon. And then obviously Chris will be back with us again at tea time with the Belgium-Panama game as Mexico come charging forward. It's a rip-roaring stuff. He's almost, well, they've got a free kick out of it, Mexico. Hummels with the foul. It's almost been played at a frenetic pace, just like the Peru game yesterday, the Peru-Denmark game as we saw yesterday. It was Vela who was fouled there by Hummels. Now, in the last 2 commentary games that I've covered live, we've had VAR. What are the odds on a hat-trick of VARs in my games at the moment? And at the moment I've not done too well in trying to guess whether the decisions were right or wrong. But at the moment we've got a 3-kick situation, 3-man committee. Leon fancies this as well. Number 15, Moreno as well fancies it. Guardado has had a sight. It looks as if Leon is going to hit it right-footed. It's just a fraction to the left of the D, left of the centre of the D, I should say. So this will be very difficult for Neuer to try and estimate here, as Leon tries to shoot it and he shoots it 10 rows back over the bar and behind for a Germany goal kick. So no damage there caused to the Germans at all, and we're coming up towards 9 minutes of the first half gone. Germany 0, Mexico 0 at this moment in time. But a fantastic start. Fantastic start all the same. I think it's going to be a really... I think this is going to be a really tough one to predict, really, this game, because when you look at the teams objectively, it's not a mismatch by any means, because when you look at the way the teams have been performing, certainly in qualifying, they are very efficient sides, and they both mean business certainly today. Although the game is kicking off at around about, well, it's 4 o'clock in the UK, 6 o'clock they're kicking off, so we're basically now into the evening. I know back in the UK it is afternoon, and that's 7 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock Russian time. We'll be looking at Brazil's first match of the tournament as they take on Switzerland, who have, of course, Stoke City's Shaqiri, of course, in their side. 1 or 2 familiar names, of course. Brazil with Neymar back to his brilliant best. I'm sitting for Brazil the other week as the shot comes in, and another tremendous shot from 25 yards. This time Herrera struck the shot right-footed. It was a terrific shot, and Manuel Neuer got behind it very well. In fact, he won the Golden Glove at the last World Cup 4 years ago, and his handling was assured there because well, Herrera struck that with all his might. There was no doubt about that. It was a really good effort, and yeah, struck it with his right foot. And you guys can get involved in the comments section, and of course the JB Man of the Match will be in operation in the second half, as it always is now on World Cup. World Cup live on the JB Clark YouTube channel, and we're into our sixth live match of the tournament, if you discount the one we did delayed. And we'll have another 3, potentially 2 to 3 more tomorrow, as well as the Brazil game tonight. And that's to come later with Chris Whiteman on commentary duties, and myself, John Stuttar, presenting. But at the moment it's still 0-0 here in a very competitive game so far. And look at this now, and Kimmich had gone darting down the right hand side, got to the byline, pulled the ball back, but Okiak got back the goalkeeper and claimed it no problem on the goal line. And so far I'm seeing a very different Mesut Ozil to the one that we're very, very used to at Arsenal. When he's playing for Arsenal, certainly in the last couple of years under Wenger, he's tended to drift in and out of games as if he's non-existent, and that's not the Mesut Ozil we knew, that we knew before he came to Arsenal. He was a very willing runner. We certainly saw that in the last World Cup 4 years ago, but I have to say when he plays for Arsenal, he just seems to drift in and out of games, and it must be frustrating for the Arsenal fans to have a talent like Mesut Ozil, and yet he's not utilising himself or putting himself about enough. And that's always the big problem, really, as there's a disputed throw-in here to Mexico. The Germans absolutely fuming about that decision. Referee just making absolutely sure there. And it was the right decision, but it's back with the number 23, Gallardo. The ball out of play again. Joachim Löw doing one or two skill tricks with the ball. Joachim Löw, the very casual dressed. He's a very casually dressed. Out of all the coaches, you would think Joachim Löw is actually very casually dressed. Most of them have got open collars or suits and ties on. Joachim Löw just has a plain t-shirt, a black t-shirt on, and a pair of jeans. That's all he needs. He's a very outgoing, casual sort of coach. And out of the 32 coaches, I would say he's the most casual one of the lot. And there's a foul. Oh, well, the Germans want a foul. Now, for Mexico, we've got a free kick in a very dangerous position for hands. And it was against Tony Cruz here. Now, was there a foul here on Cruz? Well, he's certainly got a bit of the shirt there. I think that should have been against Cuadro, I think. But Cruz has been penalised for hands. And the referee telling him to push off, basically. And he's manhandled Tony Cruz there, the referee. But it's a free kick to the Mexicans. All of a sudden, the Germans, who, let's be fair, are the better side on paper just because they're world champions, are right on the back foot a little bit. It's a bit of a worry if you're a Germany follower, that's for sure. It's a free kick just to the right, and it's floated into that penalty area, and again the defending wasn't very good there from the Germans. A free header came in. I couldn't tell who it was. It was number 15 Moreno with the header, and in the end Neuer was comfortable enough to save it, although his finishing position, he ended up practically on his own goal line, so a little bit too close for comfort there. But Mexico were giving it a really good go, and that can only be good to the game as a neutral, I suppose. And we are watching this as a neutral, and it's actually been quite good watching all the other teams apart from England in the first few days, because it's giving us some idea of how these teams are going to perform. I was disappointed with Argentina, but to be fair, the Iceland side, you know, they don't surprise me now, Iceland, considering what they did in the Euros a couple of years ago. You know what they're going to do. They're going to shut up shop and try and get results their way. And they remind me a bit of Wimbledon when they were coming up through the leagues of Dave Bassett in the late 80s. Here's Kimmich now on the right-hand side. Kimmich's ball in, and almost an own goal. Well, Khedira was right in there, and in fact, Salcedo could have actually put through his own net. Teasing ball in from Kimmich, and in fact, yes, almost an own goal, but wide of the target. So, although we did say it was nearly an own goal, it's actually good. It was good, sensible defending, as it turned out. But Kimmich's ball in was something else. There comes the corner towards Werner this time. A long-range shot coming in, and again, a good effort there, and again, goalkeeper just patting the ball down and then catching it at the second attempt. And now he's got Neuer away, and Neuer obviously loves to play the sweeper-keeper game. Gets away with it this time. There's a couple of Mexican strikers going through, and now at the other end, we've got a break on here. Two waiting in the middle for Ozil if he can get the cross in. Ozil, good skill back. Now then, chance here, long-range shot deflected. It's a corner. No, it's not. It comes off of Germany. In fact, it's a goal kick. It was Cruz with the shot, right-footed, and it came off maybe Werner, in fact, and behind for a goal kick. Wow, we had some action there in the last sort of 2 minutes. We've played well over a quarter now. In fact, we played 16 minutes, and it's Germany 0, Mexico 0, and the first of our two live offerings for you today from the World Cup. Early today, Serbia won their match by 1-0, so Serbia, it was a very lacklustre match against the Costa Ricans, one has to say. But so Serbia winning that one, and the Mexicans right up for this one, as you would expect. It's a cracking atmosphere around this stadium in Moscow. I have to say that I've not seen in some of the games that I've seen so far in this World Cup. I think it's been very well attended in all the stadiums that have been used so far, even the smaller capacity stadiums. They've been right up for this World Cup, and that's a credit to the organisers and the way they've gone about it here. As we come up towards 17 minutes gone here in Moscow. 0-0 between Germany, the world champions, the reigning world champions, beginning a world title defence against the Mexicans, who, well, I think their best ever World Cup finish was a quarter-final many moons ago, 86 I think, when they last hosted it, of course. And then they come now. Oh, they break here now, a chance through. Oh, for one moment I thought Hernandez was going to hit that shot then, and still might. Oh, Javier Hernandez, the West Ham man, if he'd have been in a Manchester United shirt back in the day, he'd have shot early then. There's no doubt about that. But it was a glorious opportunity for the little P, and he just decided to cut inside when maybe he should have tried to hit it first time. Having said all that, he's Mexico's all-time leading scorer at 49 goals, and if he'd have kept his head there, it may well have been goal number 50 for him. But there you go, just the way the cookie mountains sometimes in this crazy game we call football. 0-0 here in this FIFA World Cup game here in Moscow. Boateng just quite content to let that go behind. But, well, 0-0 is... well, how is it 0-0 is beyond me. As Germany go forward, is it? Well, there's been another incident there. My goodness, the referee's had some work to do in this opening 19 minutes. I think it's a foul here on the Germans. One of the Germans, number 7, Julian Draxler, claiming a handball, which was given. Absolutely Anonymous is on, and of course, needless to say, when we get a chance we will read the comments out. Absolutely Anonymous says the Mexicans have come to play. I think they've all come to play in this World Cup. There's a great attacking intent, and here's Werner inside the Mexican penalty. Werner shoots and he hits it straight at the goalkeeper with his left foot. It was a terrific chance there for the Red Bull striker, the Red Bull Leipzig striker, and he just couldn't take the opportunity on offer. One of the top scorers in the Bundesliga last season, and he's in the side because he's scoring goals. That looks a harsh decision by the referee. Well, amazingly here after 20 minutes of all action excitement, it's 0-0, believe it or not. But this reminds me of what happened in the Denmark-Peru game yesterday. Just all action. It's been a cracking game so far. Cracking 20 minutes for a 0-0. It's absolutely been tremendous. And I touch wood, I don't want to put a commentator's curse on anything, but so far in this World Cup we've been playing it for what, 3 days now? Been playing since Thursday, and so far in, I think it's about 7 or 8 World Cup games that we've been playing, we haven't even had a goalless draw yet. But hopefully we don't have a commentator's curse on it for the next 2 games. We've seen a goal today, just the one so far, that came from Alexander Kolarov of Serbia, that won the game late on in that one. And well, we're still at 0-0 here in this first half. We're coming up towards halfway mark of the first half, and yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see everybody's getting into the World Cup spirit. There's been quite a rare views. We've had, I think, not one game has had less than 200 listeners so far for each one. So, all power to you listeners, of course, that have taken the time and to support us here in our first attempt at covering my first attempt at covering a World Cup full length. As a commentary, I did 20 games in the last Euros, and felt that we did a lot there. And here come the Germans now. Edge of the area. Can they get the shot off? Cruz is there now. Cruz will try the left foot. And again, the goalkeeper's handling. Okoya is very, very exemplary. I think both goalkeepers, him and Manuel Neuer at the other end, really good piece of goalkeeping from both of them. Been very assured in their handling. And that's well, that's refreshing to see from two foreign keepers, because you would expect that from English goalkeepers. Certainly from Nick Pope, who I've seen very, very much a lot of in the past season with Burnley. And maybe they've been getting some tips off Pope. Who knows? But here come Mexico now. Forward they go. What a first half it has been. Lozano now playing it forward. And the shot coming in from Javier Hernandez. But it's blocked away. It was from the edge of the penalty area. Still, amazingly, here in Moscow, it's 0-0. But what a first half it has been so far. Full of incident, plenty of drama. Yet, not a VAR decision in sight as yet, touch wood. And that's a foul. Kimmich with the challenge. Well, for work rate in industry, you cannot fault the lads. And as Absolutely Anonymous says, you're doing a sterling job at covering it as well, may I add. Well, we do our best. And this game is not the only game you're going to be listening to tonight, because Chris Whiteman will be back by popular demand later on. I hope he's listening in the garden centre he's working at the moment, because he'll be on for kick-off in time for kick-off at 7 o'clock to bring you full exclusive commentary. Well, not exclusive commentary, but full match commentary of Brazil versus Switzerland. And my word, what a game that promises to be here. We've had some game here so far, and the Mexicans have a free kick, and it's defended well by the Germans, although they've got a free kick there for a foul on Mats Hummels. It was by number 15, Moreno. Yeah, just has a fistful of shirt there, puts him a little bit off balance. And no doubt about it, free kick as we come up towards halfway through the first half. And I think Moreno said, I think a little bit too much there, the referee having a word with him. Nothing more than that, but if he says any more out of turn, I think he may well be in the referee's notebook. You'll get the yellow card given against his name. Wow, 24 minutes gone here in Moscow. 0-0 between Germany and Mexico in the 2018 FIFA World Cup finals. Our first ever as a YouTube channel, covering it as a YouTube channel. And what a fine job we made of it yesterday. Fantastic job, myself and Chris Whiteman. 4 games in 11 hours between us, and we've still got the voice to do plenty more over the next month or so. As Joachim Löw, he's even got a nice little beautiful chain around his neck as well. He's so outgoing and so casual as a manager, you could not wish to see. Meanwhile, a free kick to Germany on the right hand side, about three quarters of the way in the Mexican half, just 15 yards outside the Mexican penalty box on the right hand side, and a free kick. We've had 25 gone. Germany 0, Mexico 0, so we've had just over halfway through the first half here in Moscow. And we got a free kick here. I'm trying to book an hotel room whilst commentating as this free kick comes in. As this free kick comes in towards the penalty area, towards the back post, and it's still not away yet. Chance here. There was a high foot there, showing that must be a free kick to Mexico. And away go the Mexicans. And then number 22, Lozano towards the edge of the area. Pull back again. Chance here, the shot coming in. And over the bar for a goal kick by number 7, Leon. Struck it pretty well. Still 0-0. As Ozil now has the ball for the Germans. If you're wondering why I'm a little bit pausing in the commentaries, I'm actually out of actually not going to be commentating on the 30th on any World Cup game, because I'll be at a friend's 40th birthday party in Greater Manchester. So and I'm trying to book an hotel just outside for that. As Mexico now got a bit of space here, and it's the number 11 fella now who tries to get the cross in. There was two waiting in the middle. In fact, Hernandez has had to kick a ball out because that was on the pitch. We had two balls there on the pitch, and also the distribution of balls so far in this tournament has been absolutely stupendously stupid. It's been ridiculous, really. 0-0. What a fantastic game of football. You could not wish for a better team or a better side to so 0-0 is the score, and so far it has been quite an exceptional watch thus far. I can't wait for the half-time whistle to come very quickly enough I can catch my breath and get myself a nice cuppa. And the ball back to the goalkeeper, who will hook that away. Well, what a first half it has been here in Moscow. Still 0-0. That's a foul. Definitely a foul. And the free kick taken, although it should have been taken 5 yards a bit further forward there from the Mexicans. I think they missed a trick there, but they've got the ball out to the far side, near side where Lozano. Lozano now cuts inside the penalty area, gets his cross in. And again, the Germans just doing enough, but are not getting the ball away effectively enough. Vela wins the ball. Now the shot comes in from about 20 yards, just to the left of the D. And in the end, easy for Manuel Neuer to get down and gather the ball into his chest. And we were talking at the start about players that would come off the bench and do a job. Well, we just looked at one there, Marco Reus. Borussia Dortmund is one of his clubs. Goes sterling service to them for many, many years. Reus, veteran of 2 World Cups in 2010 and 26, and of course 2014. A very experienced player that can do a job. Meanwhile, the Germans still being held. Of course, tomorrow you've got 2 to 3 live matches, including the big one, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll be behind the microphone for that one. England against Tunisia, and my goodness, from Volgograd, and we'll be there. Well, I'll be there to cover that for you here on the JB Clark YouTube channel as Gareth Southgate's men begin their bid to win their first World Championship since Sir Alf Ramsey won it on home soil back in 1966 by the aid of Jeff Hurst hat-trick and a Russian linesman. And for those who figured out who the other scorer, for those who don't know who scored the other goal in that match, and it's been basically forgotten, there's 2 players are down there, from one from either side. Roger Hunt of Liverpool scored the other goal that afternoon on the 30th of July 1966. Meanwhile, we've got Hernandez and Boateng down after a little bit of a collision, as Chris Whiteman would say, a bit of a car crash collision. I feel like I'm pitching his lines now. 30 minutes gone here in Moscow. Germany 0, Mexico 0. Germans, the current holders of the World Cup, having won it in Rio 4 years ago when the tournament was held, of course, in Brazil, who ironically start their campaign to win a 6th World Cup later on tonight with Chris, and he'll be at the microphone just at the start of the game for him. So we've had some big games between myself and Chris. I'm going to get another big game tomorrow night. Germany and Mexico was always going to be a big game. So far he's had Ronaldo, he's had Messi, and now he's going to have Neymar. He's a very lucky chap. And if that's a big I think even though he's not going to be doing the final, which is my gig, I'll tell you something. It's a brilliant if it's a consolation prize, then it's a massive one. It's a very big consolation prize to get those 3 in a row in 3 days. is unbelievable. Plus he's going to get England against Belgium as well, so he's going to get a couple of the England matches as well, which is great for him because he's a terrific guy. He's just coming to commentating, and he's had a stab at it, and he's done really well thus far. So he's been really good in the last month or two. We've given him opportunities to test himself out, and at the moment he's doing himself justice. And the free kick he commentated on Ronaldo, he's got Ronaldo with a hat-trick. He's had that Messi sensational penalty miss from Lionel Messi yesterday. But you have had my of excitement. I've had the 2 VAR decisions and a missed Peruvian penalty, and we've had a really good game here between Germany and Mexico, and I don't think it's going to be goalless. Touch wood for a lot longer here. Here's Vela now towards the German penalty area. Vela turns, doing well, but at the moment the efficiency of the Germans keeping them out, and that's a good ball out to the near side of Gallardo now. Gallardo running at the defenders. Gallardo with the cross in towards the 6-yard area, and almost a chance there for the little P. Javier Hernandez right in on amongst that 6-yard line, and he almost broke away. Still 0-0. What a first half this has been. Moreno now takes possession, plays the ball back. Now then, Moreno will have a second opportunity and hooks the ball away. And still goalless. Pass accuracy 87% the Germans, 74% from the Mexicans. So it shows how good a game it has been. Quite high percentage, although the Germans shaded it on the percentages on the passes, as that particular attempted German pass went a bit astray and through the middle. And here come the Mexicans again, and this is Carlos Melo, once of Arsenal of course, and a ball in there which Leon just couldn't reach, and in the end it fell very vitally for the German goalkeeper Neuer to just sweep up and take. But I have to say, the build-up play from the Mexicans has been absolutely superb. Just that final product that's just been lacking in that final third, as I say. But it's been a very good first half. It's been a good watch. To say it's a 0-0, it's been very, very enjoyable. But I don't think more drama is going to be too far from round the corner. But here come the Mexicans once again, and Hernandez now 1 against 1 with Boateng. He's got Gallardo through. Gallardo has to touch back. Gallardo keeps his feet. Gallardo shoots. He scored! Wow, Lozano! Robert Lozano has scored, and it's Mexico who take the lead against the world champions. Wow, we have a shock on here. Lozano! What a goal! And it was the Germans breaking down midway inside the Mexicans' half. They were tight at the back. They were stretched at the back, I should say. Hernandez with the breakout, and Lozano turned and got his shot off, and that was a super goal. 10 minutes to go to half time. I got the score identity. I got the identity wrong. And because I was just so excited here, because we might have a shock on here. But it's Mexico, and you have to say, for enterprise and endeavour, they've deserved it. The Germans have not really offered too much else, really. It's a great goal from Lozano. That's a terrific finish. 1-0. What a turnout for the Bucks that is. Germany, the holders and perennial bookies favourites, along with Brazil, France and Argentina, are in trouble here after 36 minutes. Lozano the scorer. Germany now must hit back. They've got a free kick, I think. Yes, they have. Leon, the culprit, on Plattenhardt. But it's all about the Mexican fans there. There's one there with a replica World Cup there. Well, could they be holding one up come the end of this tournament? They've never won the World Cup, Mexico. They've won a few Copa Americas in the past. As Plattenhardt gets the cross in, a chance here in the back post, and it just will not chop for anyone in white at the moment. The shot comes in from Kimmich and it's deflected away. Then the Germans have got a free kick about 25 yards just to the right of the D. Kimmich has gone crashing down. And Mexico here finding themselves in a little bit of a sticky situation, having got a goal up in this game. Wow. We have a World Cup to savour here, ladies and gents. And it just shows in the first few games that all the big guns, I mean, France were very lucky to beat the Australians. Was it 2-1? They needed the help of VAR and the goal line technology to get them over the line. And then Argentina were held. And and obviously Spain and Portugal cancelled each other out in a 3-3 draw. It was an exciting sort of cancel each other out, Tom. Now the Germans now must hit back. They've got a free kick here. Number 10 Ozil's over this one. May well be the right foot of Cruz or the left of Ozil. It's going to be possibly the right foot of Cruz. Over the wall and off the crossbar. And Hernandez with half an header out inside the area. In the end, he has a second goal and he doesn't get it halfway. Only gets it halfway. And here come the Germans now. Mullen with the crossing towards the area. Werner was waiting at the far post. This is Werner now. Werner now. He's got three in the middle and he's picked out Muller. Muller to the right of the 6-yard box. He crosses in low and it's blanket Mexican defending. They're trying to protect this 1-goal lead, but made heavy weather of it there. But they've got themselves a bit of respite because Jerome Boateng has been penalised by the referee. Oh my goodness, that was a tremendous right-footed drive by Toni Kroos. He couldn't have hit that sweeter. No, I initially thought he'd hit the crossbar. It's gone over the wall. Did the keeper save it? He did. He flicked it on. In fact, he saved it. He flicked it onto it did actually come off the crossbar, but he flicked it onto the crossbar. And that was a great piece of goalkeeping. Fourth World Cup for this keeper, and he's done terrifically well. Well done, Okia. That was a really good save. Very experienced keeper. As I say, he's in his fourth World Cup. And now a yellow card has been brandished for, well, presumably for time wasted. I think that was a bit strong from the referee. And I think it's Moreno has been penalised or got the caution card. We'd have to get that confirmed. Indeed it is. Hector Moreno's been booked for time wasted. We've only had about nearly 39.5 minutes, referee. Come on. That was a bit strong. You could understand it if it was 88 minutes or something, but 39 minutes. I think the referee's action there was quite excessive, maybe strong, maybe too strong for my liking. Well, who knows? It just beggars to believe that some of the officials here do take liberties at the World Cup. And I remember Clive, this was the incident with Clive Thomas, he's 78, Charles Corver in the West Germany France semi-final of 82 when we didn't even give a penalty against Darryl Schumacher for basically almost killing Patrick Battiston. In the end, Battiston ended up with a cracked vertebrae and three teeth knocked out of him. He was actually unconscious for about 4 minutes that night in Seville back in 82. And in fact, Schumacher stayed on and proceeded to cheat even more in the penalty shootout, moving off his line 3 times. Germany got their, West Germany as they were, they got their overdue comeuppance against Paolo Rossi's Italy. But this is Boateng, and this is a much more organised and much more efficient German side than the one that cheated through 82. As we now go into the final 4 minutes. Germany can have no complaints. Mexico have been the most enterprising team, and they've really gone at it from the word go. I've been really impressed with the Mexicans. And so far, the record of a knock of a non continues, and that's good to see. A goal has been scored in at least every game, and we've got one here in Moscow, and that is good to see. The possession stats: 59% Germany to 41%, 8 shots apiece, 5 on target for Germany, 4 on target for Mexico. That's how good a game it really has been. This is Kimmich now on the right-hand side, and again the Mexicans very quick and very sturdy in defence. But the ball is played forward again to Ozil. They need a bit of magic from him. Now then, Kimmich again on the right, chips it in. Werner was waiting, but the ball was too far in front of Werner, and it was easy for the Mexicans to clear up. And look at Villa go now over the halfway line he goes. He's run to the left 40 odd yards, and there's a plan free, and it's Hernandez, I think. Hernandez waits in the centre. In fact, Leon was the player there, and it might well drop here to the Lozano who scored the goal. And what a beautifully taken goal it was. Still the Mexicans on the attack, although Germany have brought 4 or 5 white shirts back. Goal kick to Germany. Well, all the big perennial favourites so far that from what we've seen in the opening exchanges of these of some of the bigger nations, well, they haven't covered themselves in glory. Argentina held by the plucky men from Iceland, which for Iceland is got to be a result that's just as big as the one they got against England in the Euro 2016 a couple of years ago. Who could ever forget that night? I was there, I was commentating that night, and I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. It's the only time I've come off the mic discussing an England performance and have actually thrown my microphone down in anger. Maybe a few of those. Well, we're gonna kick off the England coverage tomorrow night in earnest. They do play Panama on a week today, in fact, in the second match, but I won't be able to cover that. Neither will Chris, so it may well have to be a delayed commentary. Then Chris will be on the mic for the third game against Belgium, and then we'll try and follow them through the last 16 and the last 8 and all the way, hopefully, touch wood, through to the final. If only Paul the Octopus was there to predict our fate. He certainly predicted the winner some 8 years ago when he predicted the winners. He had 8 games to predict, and he got each and every one of them right. My goodness, he must have been the most brainiest octopus I've ever seen in my lifetime. Who will ever forget Paul the Octopus? Now then, here's a chance now for Kimmich. They need something before half time here, the Germans. Otherwise, they're facing a defeat here in the opening game with 45 minutes still left to play. We're inside that final minute. We'll have a little bit of stoppage time at the end. I'm not sure it's going to be any more than a minute, I suspect, as that ball comes in there towards Thomas Malou. Ducked underneath it, although he's claiming a push inside the penalty area. The referee didn't want to know, or he didn't even look twice at Muller there. As Bella now cuts in from the left-hand side. His stamina has been unbelievable. Now then, a chance here now for Guardado. And now Vela again. Vela with a shot and just wide with the left foot, just outside the area, inside the D. Well, the Mexicans look an absolute threat on the counter-attack. This was I think that would have been a very harsh... Well, maybe not. It wasn't, in fact, Muller. It was Kimmich. I think the Germans may have had a case there for a penalty. But regardless of which, they don't deserve to be on parity, because they haven't done enough for me, the Germans, so far this evening. But well played, the Mexicans. We're into 1 additional minute, as I suspected that might be the case. Once that first half comes to a close, we'll have a 15-minute breather, because we all need to get our breath back after that remarkable first half, and then we'll be back with full second half commentary. And then as soon as the game's finished, I will be off to have a bit of an hour's break, by which time we'll have had tea, got everything sorted out, and then we'll be going live at 10 to 7 for Brazil against Switzerland, where Chris Whiteman will be on hand to bring us full match commentary of that game. So watch this space, ladies and gents, as the half-time whistle goes here in Moscow. And plenty for Joachim Loeb Sports here at the moment, because his Germany side, his world champions, defending world champions, are a goal down. A goal from Lozano after 35 minutes is the difference between the sides. And you have to say the Mexicans thoroughly and utterly deserve it on the balance of play. Yes, they've had less of the possession, but that's nothing. That's just one little part of it. The Germans just haven't done enough with their possession, and the Mexicans have done far more. They've been very good on the break. They've looked absolutely superb, and they thoroughly and utterly deserve their lead at half time. We're going to take 15 minutes out. We'll join you for the second half, but the half-time score here, the story here in Moscow, is a shock is on. It's Germany 0, Mexico 1. Welcome back to Moscow, where we're just about to kick off the second half here between Mexico and Germany. 1-0 it is to the Mexicans. We're just waiting for the teams to come out here in Moscow. I've just done a promo for a little thing I'm doing on Facebook as regards World Cup diaries, and people and of course what we'll be doing as regards the lives, and if people want to ask me questions about the World Cup on here as well, we'd be more than happy to do that as well. So fantastic and absolutely superb, and we're all ready to go for the second half, and I can't wait for the second half to begin here in earnest, as we're just looking at some of the action in the first half. Could have been an easy and own goal there for the Mexicans, and which could have gone either way, but at the moment we're ready and waiting to kick off the second half here in Moscow, as Germany and Mexico are preparing to begin the second half of this crucial encounter. And honestly, if there's any questions that you guys want to ask about the World Cup on the comments, ask away, and I will answer the best to your ability, to my best of my ability. So if you're wondering about the rules or the regs or the refereeing or the final points of the tournament, we'll put you straight on that. So we're just waiting for the second half to begin in earnest. And Thomas Muller, 10 goals in 6 assists in his 13 World Cup appearances, could actually potentially overtake Miroslav Klose as the record scorer in the World Cup competition. So we're underway. I've just been on Facebook there, just so don't worry, I was not put off at all, and so we're up and running now in this second half. Remember, Germany against Mexico underway, and you'll be able to listen to this now on the JB Clark YouTube channel, and of course World Cup diaries for the base bookers that may well be on. Don't forget, half mine each night after every game, including the England game, where we'll have a review of what happened as regards that, as we'll take on Tunisia tomorrow. That's another game you can hear live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Now we've had no substitutions, just to bring you up to date at half time. So just to run through the lineups again, the Mexicans are just dawdling a little bit in possession at the moment. Germany have Neuer in goal, and it's Plantenhart, Hummels, Khedira, Draxler, Cruz, Werner the striker, Ozil, Muller, Boateng and Kimmich. For Mexico, Okia, Ayala, Salgado, Leon. Throwing to the Germans on the far side, Leon, Vela, Javier Hernandez. So this is the German side. Neuer in goal, then it's Plattenhardt, Hummels, Kimmich and Boateng across the back. 5 in the midfield with Muller, Cruz, Khedira, Boateng and Kimmich, and with Werner up front, in fact Draxler I should say. With the Mexican lineup, as I said, Okia in goal, Salgado and Cayun, Vela, Hernandez, the little P, Moreno, Iera, Guado, Lozano, the scorer of the only goal after 35 minutes, and Guiado, who I actually misidentified as the scorer. Anyway, back with the game now, and Germany and Mexico underway in the second half. The referee making sure that everything's above board, and the ball back to Neuer. This is the Mexican lineup confirmed with Okia, Salcedo, and of course the rest of the team going through there, as I did read out to you earlier on. So here come the Germans now, looking for an equaliser here as Draxler comes forward out to the far side, and chance here for Kimmich to get a crossing from the right, but again, good blanket defence by the Mexicans. It comes here to Plattenhardt, who will try a speculative shot with his left foot from about 20 yards, but fielded again by Okoria, whose handling has been really superb so far. But well, Joachim Löw, I don't think he's had to have a half-time team talk of 45 minutes, 15 minutes, quite like that so far, but at the moment it's 1-0 to Mexico, and a long ball is fizzled in now, and it's behind for a goal kick. As the ball's out of play. Do apologise for the pause. So the Germans at the moment 1-0 down. And there's nothing happening so far, although the Mexicans just trying to get it away now. 5 minutes gone in the second half. You're missing absolutely nothing so far. I'm just having to do the social media stuff and of course the commentary at the same time, as I'm no Chris Whiteman at the moment. But so far so good as regards the Mexicans. The shock is on, dare I say it. And of course we'll have a World Cup diary for you later on. So still 5 minutes of the second half, and well, the big team's not having it all their own way at the moment. And then the ball over on the far side, and it's Cuadrado now. He's won a corner, or it's come off the defender for a goal kick. In fact, it was Lozano making the run, and well played Kimmich actually, standing his ground there. But it's Mexico just 40 minutes away potentially from a real shocker here in Moscow, or pulling off a real shock here in Moscow. Wow, it's been an unbelievable first weekend of the tournament. Excuse me. And I have to say, it's been an amazing tournament so far. Not a goalless draw inside. A long ball forward up towards Herzl, but it was well cut out. Herzl had made a good little run there through the centre, and he did well. But here come the Germans again, looking for an equaliser. And on the edge of they get a throw in edge of the area. And still the Germans have it deep in their own half, still looking to unleash some shot, and it's gone over the top with a left foot from Kimmich for more than 30 yards out and over the top. Still 1-0. Nothing much happening in the at the moment, so we have just had a little bit of silence there. Not only that, to get my breath back, because I'm still getting my breath back from an unbelievable first half so far at this moment in time. So here come the Germans now, looking for this equaliser. Here's Draxler running at the defence and doing well, but he might break for Werner. And the referee says no. Looked to foul with Werner on the edge of the area, but the referee wasn't interested. And it remains 1-0 to Mexico. We've had 53 minutes of the second half. And still it remains 1-0. That goal in the 35th minute by Lozano, the difference at the moment. The Mexicans riding their luck, and why not at the moment? They've nothing to lose here. Probably a lot to gain potentially here if they get 3 points out of this one. But here's Ozil, 35 yards out. A chance here for Draxler. He tries to control it with his... hits a shot, controlled shot with his side of his right foot. It deflects off Salgado. And it's a corner. Salcedo, I should say, deflects for a corner. Hit the side netting as well. So it was a little bit more closer for comfort than it was in the end. Corner taken quickly. This is Cruz from the short tilt corner. Back to Draxler. Draxler back. He's getting back. Draxler gets it back. Here's Cruz inside the area. Tries to get it onto the right foot. Trying to give himself about 2 yards space for a shot potentially. Cruz has it back now. 20 yards from goal. Chips it into the penalty area. Header back, and it's behind, is it? No, it's been kept in by the keeper. Did well. 10 minutes of the second half gone. Germany 1-0. Mexico 1. What a second half we could have here. Wow. Still to come. Still to come. Brazil against Switzerland. A potential banana skin that one. Join me and Chris Whiteman at 10 to 5 to 7 this evening for that one, because I think that one could be an explosive game. We've had very much explosive in the games here between Germany and Mexico as the Germans look for the equaliser. 10.5 minutes of the second half gone, and that's a foul and a free kick to Mexico now. Starting to run there, look a little bit more now, and this is going to be a tense second half. It's going to be a tense old second half this. Can the Mexicans hang on for a famous World Cup victory? And it would be something absolutely spectacular. Ball out towards Plattenhart on the near side, rather. Infield to Draxler. Draxler back inside. Good football again. And here comes Khedira, but he's lost out this time. Again, that Mexican defence. Well, the South American teams traditionally are not noted for their sturdy defence, but the Mexicans are changing all that, and there's 2 players on side. One is Hernandez on the ball, and he's got Vela to the right, and here's Vela, but the ball is just too strong. Still, Mexico have it today in total credit, and Vela lays it back and over the top by Cuado. Oh, what an opportunity to put clean there between themselves and Germany there. And Mexico have wasted an opportunity there. And Guerrero putting it over the bar, but the pass from Hernandez was just a bit too strong. Otherwise, it'd been a bit perfect. He would have found Bella. He'd have been 1-1 with Neuer, and it would have been 2-0. Instead, we could be on for 1-1 because the Germans are looking for an equaliser and on the attack straight away. And the ball played in towards Werner. Werner shoots. He was onside, and the shot came in. It's a great save. In fact, the flag had got up, in fact, against Werner. Although the goalkeeper made a marvellous save. Not that he knew it at the time. It wasn't Werner, actually. It was Cruz. Not Muller, sorry. Not Cruz. Not Werner, but there's a substitution anyway. And off comes Carlos Vela, once of Arsenal. And Alvarez is the man that's going to come on for Mexico. So he's on the 57th minute, no, 58th minute I should say. 1-0 it is. And at the moment it's a real humdinger of a game that we've got ourselves here. This is Drexler now for the Germans, and the ball out to the far side. First time cross required, and again the Mexican defence was solid as a rock again. They are not for budging here against this wave after wave of German attack. Still Cruz has it. Kimmich is making a run outside. This needs to be a good cross. They're looking for some way through here, the Germans, and at the moment there just doesn't seem to be anything. Kimmich has it on the far side, away from Alvarez, who's just literally come on as a substitute. 58 minutes gone here in Moscow. Kimmich again against Alvarez. It's got a deflection, and he's going to give a corner to Germany. Corner it is. Marco Reus about to enter the fray, and he's a bit of a World Cup scoring machine himself, but this was the chance. Hernandez, it was 2 against 2 here, and all he had to do, Hernandez, was play it across to Vela, and he played it far too strongly, and he knows it there, the little P. Should have been 2-0. Well, and sometimes it's just never meant to be, is it? That's the beauty of football. Meanwhile, Royce about to come on, and he's going to replace Khedira. So can Royce make himself a hero? He's certainly got the capabilities to do it. So Khedira off, Royce on. 60 minutes have been played. We've had an hour. Half an hour to go in Moscow. Germany 1, Germany 0 rather, Mexico 1. Can Marco Reus make the difference? He's done it off the bench before for Germany, and has saved them on many occasions before, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Because of the 1-goal lead, and it's a slender lead. 1-goal leads are always a slender one. Denmark certainly proved that case, although they hung on in there and hung on in and dug in and got a result against Peru, who arguably should have won that game if they'd have took their chances, and especially that penalty miss yesterday. But here come the Germans. Here's Royce, first touch to see what he can do. Now he's found Drexler. Drexler trying to get it onto the right foot. Drexler's shot, and again, just too many Mexicans in the way of it. Still, it might come here for the Germans again. And on the far side, and Cruz carried it far too far, and Royce can't keep it in on the far side. And another German opportunity goes astray. Well, it's your chance to vote for the JB Man of the Match. You've got half an hour to put your voting in. And so far, we've had a couple of shared prizes, of course. Kasper Schmeichel won one of them yesterday, and Sainsbury won the one in the France-Australia game because he had a superb game. So get your vote down for JB's Man in the Match, and whoever has the more votes after 90 minutes of play here this afternoon will win that the player that has the most votes at the end of 90 minutes will be awarded the JB World Cup award, the player of the match award. On the man of the match, and here's Draxler now, looking to get Blettenhart through the centre, but through on the left hand side, but he's decided to play it out to the far side, and this is Muller back in field. They need something to happen here, the Germans. They've got about half an hour, otherwise it could be a humiliating defeat for the holders. The last couple of World Cups, the holders have struggled. Certainly Italy struggled when they defended the trophy in 2010, and Spain went down in the first round 4 years ago and they were beaten 5-1 by the Netherlands. So it was a little bit of revenge for the Dutch, because they lost in the 2010 final by 1-0. A game that was refereed by Howard Webb. The ball coming back towards Ayala and then back to the goalkeeper. I have to say he's played superb with the Mexican keeper. Now the possession stats, 59-41 in Germany's favour. Germany have made 334 passes to Mexico's 178 passes, and a ball forward then which was cut out quite nonchalantly there by the sweeper keeper Neuer, who has that reputation. He's always had that throughout his career whenever he's been playing for Germany or for his club sides, most notably Bayern Munich. He's always had that sort of attitude about him. Don't understand these foreign keepers that have to do sweeper keeper a lot of the time. It's a big risk, and you know, I prefer a good, solid, sound English goalkeeper. But I'm bound to be biased. But still 1-0, and we've had it all here. And Mexico so close now, 35 minutes away, or less than 25 minutes away, and a volley from Kimmich from just around the penalty spot, 12 yards out exactly. I think it was an attempt at a bicycle kick. Would have been some goal if he'd have got it. Could have been up there with one of the goals of the tournament. It just looped at the last second. It was a good cross there by Royce. And well, it just dipped over the crossbar, but on another day that might have dipped under, and we might have been talking about one of the goals of the competition. As it happens, it's still 1-0 to Mexico. We've had 64, just over 64 and almost 3/4 minutes gone, coming up towards the last 25 minutes of the match, and Mexico holding on for what would be an unbelievably famous victory over the World Cup over the world champions at the moment, the reigning world champions. This is Werner on the left hand side. Werner running at his defenders. He's got two Mexicans for company. Comes off a Mexican defender last, or does it? Comes off Werner last to his unbelievable disgust, and it's a goal kick to Mexico, which adds to the drama a bit more intensified. Yes, possibly off Werner, although he might have taken another deflection off the number 3 there. Maybe Werner possibly had a case. We're going to see Raul now, number 9, replaced the number 22 Lozano, who's worked hard for his goal. This was the goal he got. Bang, right in the net. Neuer got a hand on it, never couldn't keep it out. His goal after 35 minutes is the difference, and so he's off, and on in his place comes, as we're still waiting for the confirmation to come through, Raul Jimenez. So Jimenez, number 9, is now on. So we'll have to see how he goes on, but he's really done fantastically well. It's that one goal from Lozano who's just gone off that separates these two sides. Germany 0, Mexico 1. Earlier today, a goal from Serbia, a goal from Kolarov from a free kick, in fact, 1-0 today against Costa Rica. Here in this game, it's 1-0 to the German against the Germans, and they're now going forward here. The ball tossed into the penalty area. He comes to Draxler inside the edge of the area. Draxler shoots and he deflected wide. It's a corner to Germany. They're going for the cut front. They're going for this equaliser. The Germans are starting to believe slowly but surely now. Surely it must be a question of time before they equalise. But the way the Mexicans have been defending, you went back against them getting a clean sheet and a chance at the back post. He was Werner, the man from Red Bull Leipzig, with the golden chance. May have came to a little bit quickly there. May have been a flag up there for offside, but I don't think the flag went up, in fact. So that was a presentable chance there for the Germans. It remains 1-0. Penny for Joachim was fought. He looks nothing. He looks all but casual at the moment. He may be dressing casual, but his mood suggests rage rather than casual looks. And the moment another goalkeeper's put himself in a bit of trouble when it's a corner, unnecessarily conceded. Although Okokia, who's stopping the foot wrong, had to do that because his defenders put him under that unnecessary pressure. Although the goalkeeper might have been advised just to boot it out for a throw-in anywhere, really. But it gives the Germans a real chance now. Marco Reus takes the corner. Floated in there. Hummels was up there by the penalty spot. He jumped for the ball but got nowhere near it. Here is Draxler, Julian Draxler, up against the defender Gallardo, and he's passed him there. Guess he's crossed it, and again the bounces of balls just favouring the Mexicans at the moment. The Germans are doing everything they can to get this equalising goal, but at the moment there's no way through here in Moscow. And the Spartak and the Wilsheny Stadium. Scene of the first match, of course, where we saw Russia score 5 goals. And here's Ozil on the far side. Ozil trying to play the ball in. Still will not break here for the Germans. There's a shock on here in Moscow. Here's the number 7 here, Leon, and Leon is put. Hernandez in the clear. Hernandez goes down. He claims a penalty. The referee doesn't give it, and the Germans are making up pigs here again in the way. The flag is up for a free kick to Germany, who will be believed to be on all belief, because if Hernandez had a bit more pace, that might have been 2-0 in the game up there with 20 minutes to go. He was perfectly placed onside. There's no doubt about it. The flag stayed down, and I thought that was a push. I have to say the German defender here, Hummels, has pulled him back. That's a penalty for me. I'm surprised that's not gone to VAR. That should be a penalty for me. Hummels has pulled his man back, and then he's been, well, I wouldn't say out. Should the referee have got VAR there? Well, are we going to see the VAR rear its head again here? I think that was a penalty. Mexico very unlucky not to have had a spot kick there. But here they come, the Germans. They're not finished yet. They're the great competitors, of course. And again, they play a low ball into the area. And again, good defending as Draxler came flying in there in the 6-yard box. 20 minutes just under the goal. Germany 0, Mexico 1, in a real cliffhanger here in Moscow. And what a cliffhanger. And here they come again. The Germans. Kimmich with a deflected cross this time, headed away by Alala, but not very far. Still the Germans have it deep inside the Mexican half on the right hand side. Cruz has it. Surely one of these German chances has to be taken. They've had umpteen chances here, but it's almost like Peru and Denmark the other night, where the Germans were attacking, but still, well, the Peruvians were attacking, and the shot comes in from the right hand side with his right foot. It was Marco Reus, and he lashes the shot over the crossbar. Tried the volley the first time and then tried the volley again, and just caught it a little bit too good. First one was blocked by the face of Gallardo. The second one lashed venomously over the crossbar for a goal kick. And well, it's Gallardo is down on his haunches at the moment. The physio's tending to him, and to be fair to Marco Reus, he's going up there to see if he's okay, and that's good sportsmanship. Well, 20 minutes of this to go. That's to call what you call taking one for your team. I have to say that indeed. But it's been an unbelievable second half. What an effort that the Mexicans have put in here. Absolutely anonymous. You can vote for your man in the match, by the way. Man in the match will be available now for you to vote, and you can vote for your favourite player now until the 90th minute. So you've got 18 minutes exactly to vote for your JB man in the match. The man with the most votes will win the award. So get your thinking caps on. Who do you think deserves to win? Is it anyone from the Mexican side? Because they played like 11 heroes out there today. And here's Marquez, the number 4. He's going to come on and replace the number 18, Guado, the captain, who will give the armband, I think. Where's he going to give the armband to? I think he's going to give it to Marquez, I think. As I write his name down, number 4, Marquez is going to take over the captaincy. So 73 minutes. Marquez comes on. And as I say, it's JB man of the match time now. Get your votes in now. You've got literally 17 minutes to get your votes in and pick a winner. Because I'll have to pick a winner after 90 minutes. Because we'll be coming off air as soon as the final finishes. Marquez has now equalled the record of playing in 5 consecutive World Cups. Played in 2002, 2006, 2010, 2014 and now 2018. A player with almost 18 years playing experience behind him and one experience to have in the back of the defence, and he's been there, seen it, done it and won it with clubs even including Barcelona. But it's Cruz now on the ball to the on the left hand side, plays it in field, but again there's 2 backs of 4 for Mexico doing a tremendous job. The ball out to the far side of Reus. Infield it goes. The Germans looking for this equaliser to get themselves back in the hunt, and Reus was in there. And they appealed for a penalty or a corner, I think. And the referee says nothing doing. Just to say to Reus and the Germans, get on with the game. 1-0 to Mexico. That goal in the 35th minute from Lozano. It's been a long time ago now since that happened. Yes, it's still 1-0, Richard, but there's still plenty of time left for the Germans to get an equaliser. Get your votes in for the JB man of the match. Don't forget that. Here come the Mexicans now, looking to hold on to what they've got with Gallardo, but he's lost the ball. And it's still 10 yards inside the Mexican half on the right-hand side. Germany have possession. They need to do something now with all this possession they've had in the entire game. Otherwise, we could have a big shock on here on day 4 of this World Cup Championship. Germany, who are the holders of this trophy, having won it in Rio in 2014, having beaten Brazil a massive 7-1 along the way. Did they peak at that moment in time? Kimmich now needs to get it onto that left foot. He plays it back. Cruz with a shot. Cruz shoots and just wide. Cruz with a shot. And he hit it with his right foot from 20 yards, edge of the box. And he couldn't have hit this any better if he tried. And it went wide. Although, to be fair, I call it out, the goalkeeper would have had that covered. Diving away to his left. Still, believe it or not, 1-0 to Mexico. We didn't expect this. I know the Mexicans are a handy side themselves. Cruz has had 5 shots. Draxler's had 4. Leon's the top Mexico shooter with 3. And neither of them have scored. Amazing. And those are the 3 top people that have had shots. Now then, here come the Germans again. Kimmich on that far side. Surely there must be another cross coming in sooner rather than later here for the Germans. Ozil now has it. Midway inside the Mexican half. Out to the left-hand side now. Hummels is charging forward. Hummels plays it in there. Now Cruz plays the ball into the penalty area. They're trying to get foot on. Chance here for the equaliser. Deflection over. It just will not come. This time it was Draxler denied by the substitute Alvarez. My goodness me, what a second half this has been. And there's still more of this to come later on. There's a chance here, and it's again another desperate bit of defending there as Tommy Muller feints to cross in from the right hand side. Quickly taken German corner. The action's not over yet. The nightmare, the torture not yet. Oh, Mexico have pinched the ball, and now there could be a break on here. It's 1 against 1, and number 7 here, Leon, is leading the charge against one defender. Leon has a shot, and it's just over the crossbar with his right foot. It was a terrific shot. It was 1 against 1 on the counter attack, and Leon took on the defender. I think he might have been Boateng or Kimmich, one of the two, possibly Hummels perhaps. But whatever it was, my word, what a counter-attack. 1 against 1. Perfect. Perfect. And Mexico have been so rapid on the counter-attack. It's been unbelievable. 77.5 minutes gone. And it's still, believe it or not, 1-0 to the Mexicans. Later on, with Chris Whiteman commentating, me presenting, tomorrow afternoon, tonight even, we'll have Brazil, who take the field for the first time tonight against Switzerland. You'll be able to see that from about 10 to 5 to 7 tonight. Me presenting, Chris Whiteman doing the commentary. Here in the game in Moscow, myself, John Stuttle's commentating on. It's 1-0 to Mexico in a real shocker here, unless Germany can pull their finger out in the remaining 12 minutes that remain for stoppage time. The cross comes in towards the penalty area, and again a lot of bodies went for it. The shot comes in for 25 yards on the left foot, and it's blocked away. It was Mesut Ozil, in fact, with the shot. It's out for a Germany throw-in. Oh, is it? I think it's gone the other way, in fact. I'm not sure. Is it a German throw or a Mexican throw? But there was a potential there for a handball. Well, Royce looked as if he was blocked off. It is a Mexican throw-in the end, just to add to the confusion. So Platinart is coming off, and Gomez, the number 23, is coming on. So they're going to put in all their eggs in one basket here, Gomez. Can Mario Gomez get the equaliser? 79 minutes. They've used their second of 3. Hector Herrera is the vote for man of the match. And he absolutely has played out of his skin, Hector Herrera. I've got to agree with you there. Anyone else want to bid for man of the match with their selections? You've got just over 10 minutes to make a difference. At the moment, Hector Herrera is going to be man of the match. He's selected by yourself, your good selves. Here's Robert Cruz, chipping that in, but again, straight at the goalkeeper, who's actually been superb. Okay, we talk about Hector Herrera and people like that, and the goal scorer Lozano, but their goalkeeper Okia has been absolutely superb. I have to say his handling has been amazing. And here come Mexico again. They're looking for that killer second. They're going to get a free kick, are they? No, they're not. The referee allowing it to go on, and here come the Germans now. Could this be a moment there that could go against the Mexicans? This is Draxler now to the far side. Herzog has it far side. This has got to be a real opportunity now for the Germans. Rich just says they can't believe they left out Sani. It's in Sani. Well, it could be insane now if the Mexicans play that right. They try to play a 3 against 2, and it didn't come off. But now they have a chance here with Leon. Leon has it on the near side. He's started to just slow the pace down a bit, because it has been a little bit frantic for the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes or so, because it's been constant wave after wave of German attack against Mexican defence. But the Mexicans have looked to Fred on the counter-attack, and it's been a fantastic game of cat and mouse here today. This is Draxler now. We're inside the last 10 minutes. We're coming up towards the 81-minute mark in Moscow and the Luzhniki Stadium. And, well, Alzano, I think, is the man of the match from Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. So 1 each for Alzano and 1 each for Richter. I'm forgetting the other one, Herrera, I think it was. Hector Herrera. Now then, a chance here for number 2. It's a chance for Liam. Liam shoots, and he's just not far away of that. Just missed that far post by Whisker. He's had a go today, Liam. He's had a good game himself. To the right of the area, he has the shot. Absolutely whacks it with his right foot. Neuer is scrambling like Stretch Armstrong to try and get there. He knows he's beaten a mile, but the shot just doesn't have the accuracy. Still 1-0 to Mexico. A remarkable game of football here in Moscow. Is it going to be... Are Germany going to get themselves out of jail? The cross from Muller, or the attempted cross from Muller, was charged down. I think there was half-hearted appeals from the Germans that there was a hand used in there, but the referee's carrying on, locking low, urging his team to get on with the game. And Werner has pulled up lame there. They do have another substitute in reserve, the Germans. They have used 2 of their 3, Gomez and Royce, on as attacking options, but at the moment it's still not yielding a goal for them here. They're 8 minutes away from losing their first game, and what a relic this could be for the Mexicans going into their next 2 group games. Wow, we have a real situation on our hands here. Muller's going to be booked, and Hector Hernandez has gone down. And that'll buy the Mexicans a little bit of time, as we've had 82.5 minutes and we've got just over 7.5 minutes to go. Wow. Well. The Germans are looking at themselves and wondering, is it going to be their match, their day today? Is it going to be a win for the South Americans? You don't associate South Americans with good defensive displays, but we certainly have that on show for the Mexicans, who have defended like unbelievable. They've defended like tigers, and they're attacking like tigers as well. Here's the number 9 on the far side, and it's Jimenez. Jimenez playing the ball back, and now Herrera has it. Jimenez gets it back a second time, and again it's percentage football, but Jimenez has stupidly given the ball away, and it almost brought to Werner now, and it's a chance. Werner is onside, but the ball is just a little bit too strong for him, and he's had to play the ball back. Now then, Draxler. Is there an equaliser in the offing here for the Germans? Chris shoots, and it's again the goalkeeper again. He's done well. Cruz with his left foot, but again the goalkeeper just dabbing away to his right, just doing the one thing he needed to do, just parry it a yard in front of him, and then gives him enough time to then pounce on the ball the second time. Richter says Marco Reus has scored a goal for every 134 minutes that he's played in the Bundesliga last season. And of course Mats Hummels has picked up a yellow card there. So the yellow card's now starting to top up as we go into the final 6 minutes. It was a foul there on the number 20. The substitute, or was it the... trying to think who the number 20 was. It might not have been. I'm trying to think who it might have been. Thomas Muller was also earlier booked. It's all happening here. I think it might have been Gallardo actually. But Hector Herrera and Hazano, joint man of the matches at the moment. You've got just over 5 minutes to change all that. We get one vote either way in either of those 2. And they get man of the match. If not, it will be down to me with the casting vote for man of the match. And I've got to say, Herrera's probably going to be my vote. But you've got about a... But to stop me having the casting votes, you've got 5 minutes to do it yourselves. The JB man of the match. But here come the Germans looking to break open this very stubborn Mexican defence who have stood in there for so long. They're crossing for the right hand side. It might break for Werner inside the area. It just will not break for the Germans at the moment. They're on the verge of an upset here in Moscow. The Mexicans have been terrifically well organised. A credit to their country here. Lozano is going to be man of the match at this moment in time. Well, thank you very much, Adam C06. Join us later on for the Brazil match against Switzerland. Germany, shot accuracy only 33% from 21 shots tried. Not good enough on their behalf. I know you've got to put some of it down to the Mexican defending. Meanwhile, off comes the disappointing Werner. And he's going to be replaced here by the number 20, Brandt. So he's got about 4 minutes now to He's got about 4 minutes to try and do something now. They've used all 3 substitutes, and Lozano is on for man of the match, by the way. 3 minutes to change all that. But here come the Mexicans looking for a killer second. And they might just do it here with Gallardo. Gallardo's cross, he's out of play. And a goal kick. And Germany now, I've got to get on with it. And again, the ball boys not doing their jobs. Not for the Germans anyway. And Werner's pulled up, I think, a little bit lame there. And there was a little bit of a coming together with Leon as well. But here is a chance now for Brandt. First touch and first chance to see what he can do. He's only got about 3.5 minutes to see what he can do here. The Germans on the verge of a real upset here. Oh, the Mexicans going to get themselves a big and a massive famous victory. Ball into the area. Muller attacks it. And of course, I think there was also another German in there as well. It was almost a crowd scene. It was Thomas Muller with a header. In fact, it wasn't. It was Mario Gomez, I beg your pardon, with the header. But wide of the tongue. They were claiming a deflection, the Germans. But to no avail. They're nearly there now. Remember, at 6:50 tonight, we'll be back with the World Cup on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Chris Whiteman will be in position to commentate on Brazil as they attempt to win their 6th World Cup and their first since Japan and South Korea in 2002. They've tried for the last 4 World Cups without any great success, although they have played some exciting football, but they face a very tough opponent in Switzerland who were very unlucky to lose out in the round of 16 at the Euros 2 years ago. But the best efforts of their star player Shaqiri. Of course, they've got Granit Xhaka, of course, who's just signed a new deal with Arsenal. And of course, during that half-time interval with Brazil and Switzerland, will bring you the very latest with the England boys as they take on Tunisia tomorrow night. A game you'll be able to hear live here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Meanwhile, here we're into the 88th minute of this match, and still we play on. This is going to be the last roll of the dice. Here's Brandt now. Oh, chance here now in the area. Chance here deflected, and it's been stuck goal as he just will not go in for Germany. Oh my goodness me! Royce was in there. There's a shot! Oh, just wide from 25 yards out. It was Brandt with his right foot. It just will not go in for Germany. Joachim Löw looks at his watch. The Mexicans are more than running their look. The keeper did well. Royce tried to knock it towards goal. Then the Mexicans made a pig's ear of it, and then Brandt with his right foot in fact hit the outside of the post. Oh my goodness me, what a finish. What a finish. We're into the last minute of normal time here. And the JB man of the match I can now confirm is Irving as is Lozano. So Lozano gets man of the match. The JB man of the match goes to Lozano of Mexico. So that's that done and dusted. Now it's about the last 30 seconds of normal time and any stoppage time. And I can wager there'll be a good 3 or 4 minutes of that. Here's Brandt now on the left-hand side. Infield it goes to Hummels, who's come forward now. Brandt now with the crossing. Can the Germans save themselves? They're all going through to get at the far post, but no one got there. Here's Kimmich. Surely now it's attack against defence. It's been like that for the last half an hour. As Boateng tries a speculative shot with his left foot, but Okia feels that no problem at all. So we're now 5 seconds away from stoppage time, and all eyes will be on the 4th official from the United Arab Emirates. And he's put his board up. I can't see how long we're going to have. I don't know. He's looking at the board. I think we've got 3 added minutes. So indeed we have. So only 3 minutes for the Germans. As I predicted it might be. I've got stoppage time right quite a lot, but is that enough time now for Germany? Mexico have just 3 minutes to hold out here for a famous victory. Can they do it? The ball whipped in again. Royce, Robert Kimmich had his cross from the right, charge down. The Mexicans have been so brilliant this second half. They could have snatched the second on the break as well. They had chances to do it. But at the moment their defending has been top notch. So much experience in their defence. And with Rafael Marquez, the standing captain now in that back four, leading them now. Can they hang on for that But in the next 2 minutes that remain, we've had 1 of the 3 minutes. Germany still looking for that equaliser. Can they find it? They're playing good passes, moves, and then the ball forward, and again the goalkeeper. I think the ball was a through ball from Muller, was looking for Julian Draxler, but he just couldn't get there. But the Mexicans are so close now. We've had a minute and 20 of the 3. Wow, what a finish it has been. And there's still more drama to come from the World Cup tonight. Remember, don't forget Brazil and Switzerland play each other at 7 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock local time over in Russia. Here in Moscow, it's been quite a second half. It's been quite a 90 minutes, quite honestly. Germany have thrown everything by the kitchen sink at the Mexicans, and still the Mexicans will not budge. They're throwing everybody at it now. They might as well go for broke. And there's a couple of Germans going down. They appeal for a penalty. And I think, was he giving it or not? Well, let's have a look at it again. It's Hummels involved. Oh, it wasn't Hummels involved. Oh, he's gone down a bit too easily there, hasn't he? It's only a corner. But it still might be enough for them to get an equaliser. We're into the last minute of 3. Neuer's come up from the back now. Wouldn't this be a story if Neuer was to equalise? Here comes the corner. In it goes towards Neuer. He tried to control it very high with his foot. He'll have to stay forward because it's a Germany throw-in. He may as well stay forward. There's no point in him going back now. There's 30 seconds left of the game. The ball knocked in towards the area. The goalkeeper's going for it, and he had plenty of time to seize on it. And now Neuer will have to scamper back. Although the Mexicans are taking as much time as they dare here. Neuer is trotting back to halfway at least. And the goalkeeper now will more than be happy now with 10 seconds of stoppage time to go. Neuer now chasing that ball. The ball's out of play, showing on the far side, showing that must be that. We've played the 3 minutes. It's all down to the referee's discretion. Is he going to allow this free kick? It's all down to the referee now. How much more will he play on? The ball played in there. It's over! It's all over! Mexico have done it! The Germans cannot believe it. They threw everything at it in the second half, but it just wasn't enough. The Mexicans have defended like tigers and have succeeded in beating the world champions. A massive shock here in Moscow. Germany 0, Mexico 1, and what a night that's going to be for the Mexicans. I'm sure they've never had a result quite like that in their history. Certainly in the World Cup at least. Germany did all they could, but they just found the Mexican defence too stubborn on the day. And what a result that is. That's going to be up there with the shock of the tournament so far. And the Germans have done it. They've been beaten. And Mexico, oh my goodness, what a result for them. And the winning goal came after just 35 minutes. It was Lozano with the goal. And my goodness me, he took it so well. But the Germans had chance after chance after chance, but found the back four of the keeper in fantastic form. And what a fillip that is for Mexico as they end up being a real victor in that one. Casual Chris says, blimey, we get back for work and the Germans have been done over. Well done, Mexico. Well, he better get ready for the next hour or so because he's got a big game to prepare for. Chris Whiteman, he's going to be commentating on our next live offering in about an hour's time. I'm gonna have to depart now, folks, but what a night it's going to be for Mexican football. The big guns are not having it all their own way, and we've had 4 days of the tournament and the big guns are certainly not having it all their own way. But what a story we have had here in Moscow. Germany the favourites and world champions 0, the underdogs Mexico 1. And what a story here in Moscow. Join us in an hour for Brazil against Switzerland. But from this game, what a result for Mexico, who defended like tigers and won for a 35th minute goal to give them a real famous scalp over the world champions Germany. For me, John Stuttard, for me, JB, join me in an hour. Till then, take care, and we'll see you in an hour's time. With the final score here, Mexico winning Germany by 1-0. Join us in an hour.